Hi, welcome to my Informz email platform tutorial. I'm Amber, the CEO of Email Maven, and today we're going to be talking about Informz templates, how to build a basic one, and some best practices along the way. Let's dive in. Email templates are critical in Informz. You need to know how to build them right in order for your emails to be built smoothly from here on. I really encourage you to take some time to really build a good base template to get you started off on the right foot. If you don't, email building can be complicated, but it doesn't have to be. So let's show you how to make it easy. The first thing you're going to do is come into Informz and then go over to the left-hand side to Messages and click Templates. Now, our Logic has provided you a couple template options in here. I recommend creating a new one from scratch based on this tutorial. So we're going to click this top plus button here. And they've got some templates in their gallery that you could consider using. I will say the current gallery is not my favorite, but I've heard there's a whole new set coming out soon, so watch out for those. Today we're going to start with a blank canvas. Now, once you're in here, your page is going to look just like this, which is exactly what we want it to look like. First things first, we need to create a structure for our template. Again, a template is just the foundation for your email. We want this to be flexible and usable no matter what type of designs we're creating. So what I like to use is our email style guide. So this is a quick guide that is linked below that you can just get yourself as well. This helps outline the fundamental things that you're going to need to know when building a template. So you might want to gather some of these facts before you get started. Things are just best practices we're applying for you. Other things are, what are your brand colors that you're going to want to put in to the template. So let's get started with our template settings. So right now you're in the Design tab. I want you to pop into the Properties tab. We're going to name this template. I'm going to say this is our new base template. Again, make one base template, then add and change things along the way. I'm going to keep mine in the main folder. I don't have that many templates. It's alright. You can change out your from address, your friendly from, and reply to. This is what's going to be there automatically when you create an email. You can change it again later, but just put it in. I'm going to say Amber at Email Maven, and here's my email addresses. Alright, now that we've got that just covered, we're going to go over to the Design tab. First off, I'm going to do Theme. There is a checkbox at the top of this where you can prevent style edits in message. So, if you are the email marketer and maybe you have a large staff and there's multiple people who are messing in email and creating emails and sending them out the door and you want to control them a bit, this is the checkbox you want to do. Okay? Most of the time we don't recommend checking this box. If you just yourself and maybe one other person are using email, if you're experts enough and we can trust that you're going to stick with the brand, just leave it unchecked. It's going to make your life easier. Alright, so I'm going to start with my background. I'm going to decide what my background color is. I like white. And what's your template background? That's kind of this middle section here. I'm also going to pick white. Okay, you can pick an image here. I wouldn't recommend it. It's going to make your email really large and doesn't provide a lot of value. Instead, pick neutral backgrounds that your brand colors can pop well off of. Then we're going to drop down here to template width. I like to do 650px wide with a 10px padding. That's standard. I think it's a good standard. A lot of associations are moving to a 600px width. Perfectly fine. That is your choice. Next, message content. Again, we're going to keep default values here with 10px between any columns or spacing between stories. We've already done background. Now, text colors. This is one of the most underutilized parts of templates that I find. In here, you can put in your header sizes and colors and font sizes. This will save you time. I can't tell you the number of associations I've worked with where the marketer has memorized the hex codes for their core colors because they're constantly typing it in. You don't have to do that here. Just input them here, and then you won't have to remember them. So, again, going back to our guide, I've provided some sizing recommendations here as well, because you want consistency. Make your life easier. And then you're just going to want colors. So this is where you're going to pull up your style guide. This is mine. And pull in the colors that you're going to use. So for me, I've got a dark teal. I'm going to pop in here. I want these to be 28 is my regular size. Again, you can modify this when you're building your email, but just get it in the range. And I like this to be bold. Okay, you can change your font family here too. And really nice, you can also upload custom font families here. So if you have any questions, click this I. It's going to pop you right over to the knowledge base and tell you exactly how to upload your font family. It's really easy to do. Alright, so this is my first one. I want 28. 28 feels a little big. I'm going to do 24. Okay, same thing. I'm going to keep on. What I like to do here is just to give me all my color options. Majority of the style guides we work with, association typically has, 2 to 4 colors that you can use. Just pop them in here so you have the option to quickly grab it along the way. Okay, and I'm going to grab my secondary color here as well. And then repeat. I'm picking the same size on all these headers because that's what I normally do. If I'm using a header, they're going to be the same size. You can make each of these different sizes. I've seen people tier them down, but that's what I do. I'm going to do the exact same thing with subheadings, so same 3 colors, but I'm going to make them 20-point font instead. And then for my standard text, I highly recommend that you use black or this really dark gray. That lighter gray can be hard to read on the white background, so choose wisely. I'd recommend black. Choose your font family, font size. 14px is the lowest recommendation. Some people are moving up to 16px, so go ahead and pick that. Font weight, I normally pick normal. And then I just repeat that on this second one, but bold. And then same third, I normally just keep it black as well, unless there is some reason that you're using a dark color. It seems repetitive, but it's just in there. Once you've said it, you can forget it. Alright, once we've done our text, I'm going to pop into hyperlinks. We want to change our text colors. I want my hyperlinks to be my teal, my light teal color. Make sure you're picking a hyperlink that is bold, dark, that you can read. I do not want a normal weight. I prefer hyperlinks to be bolded and underlined, so they're very readable. Alright. And then, what's your default button color? Now, sometimes you're going to change your button colors. I understand. But what's your core button color? For me, it's my dark teal color. Go ahead and put that in. And then I use white text on the back. Now, your default expansion is like how wide do you want it to be. This is typical. I keep your default expansion default. Sometimes you might want it to be longer, but it's rare. Your size is default. I find often that my buttons look better at large. This is going to depend on what your whole design is, but large is a good option too. I like all of my buttons to be centered. I don't want any underlined happening, and I want to keep my same font family. Okay, that's it. Then lists. I keep all of these standard, what Informz has provided, but you can change your font sizes, your line height, default font weight, anything like that. Okay, now that seems like a lot of work, but again, this is what makes your email creation later easier, I promise. So let's get to building now. Alright, so the first thing is this very top thing. Click here to add pre-header. Click it. We need pre-headers in our emails for people to open them. Informz does not automatically pull your first sentence. There's nowhere else you can put it. This is what it's going to pull. So click that to make sure you have message pre-header content at the top. This box is automatically checked to hide pre-header in the email body, meaning you as the designer are going to be able to see it and fill it out, but when it's sent to a member, they won't be able to see it. It's going to be invisible. It will just show up in the inbox, which is exactly what we want. Then your style tab is just saying you want this to be standard text. Yes, again, I'm the only one going to read it. I love that. Okay, now we need to add in some structure. So your templates need sections. Sections are what you're going to where you're going to see an add content button that allows you to put in different elements in that section. Okay? If you have a complicated or long email, you're going to want to put in a lot of sections, because then it also allows you to move them easily as you copy and change them each week. Sections also provide a little padding in between spaces, so it's nice to have different sections so you don't always have to be messing with the padding when you're building your email. Sections also, just to me, create a more seamless look as a whole. So what you're going to want to do is pull over a section. Alright, you need to pull that first one in that little orange box here. Okay, now there is a general default of 10px happening in your email. But pop back to our style guide. An important thing that we want to put in are sections. And we want to make sure that there's additional 5px padding all around each section. This again is just going to ensure that we have enough space in our email so everything doesn't feel cramped. So, you've added your section. This is going to be a one column area. I'm going to style this and say I want padding 5px. Okay. That's as simple as that. Now, in a base template, you're then going to want to move in a message content box. All this is doing is saying that you can pick anything that you want when building an email for this section. There are times when you're going to have the same thing at the top or the bottom of your email over and over again. This is where you can lock it into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in that first one. I'm going to add a section at the top. This is going to be my email banner. This, I want padding. I want 5px padding, but I actually don't want it on the top. I want my email banner to be as high as possible, and I don't want it on the sides. So I'm going to actually change this and click banner. What you can see then as banner is it gets rid of that padding. It's going to go all the way out to the sides of your email, which is what you want with a banner. Instead, oftentimes with a header, I'll put like a 10 padding, but only on the bottom. Give me a little bit of space before I start talking to people. Okay? And because I know this is going to be a banner, every time I'm just going to drop in an image. If your banners rotate a lot, leave it like this. When you're building your email, you can pick a new image each time. If this is like a newsletter or a letterhead template, put the image in that you know you're going to use every time right here. Okay, and you're going to fill out all the information on the left-hand side. So let's keep going. As stated, I recommend using multiple sections. So for a basic standard template, what I like to do is add in 2 different sections. Okay, that gives us some variety. If your emails are notoriously long, add in a 3rd. Again, long newsletters, you're going to add in a bunch of these. Then let's put in our footer. We can grab, I should have said earlier, you can grab full width banners with web version and other things at the top. I just tend to build them out faster here. With a footer, you're going to want this actually to feel very similar to your header, meaning we're going to style this as a banner, and I like my footers to be colored. So I'm going to change this default background to my dark green color. Okay. All right. This is the foundation of a template. You can change a footer here that has some more info. So, centered with social icons, company address, etc. This is a great place to start. There's a couple other options here. Very similar. If you use this, you can also switch this to be a banner. It's going to add additional padding around it, which is exactly what you want, and you can change that color. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to delete this section. So once you have something in here, you can always select it and then click your trash can, or you can copy it. If you like what you're doing, duplicate it. Alright, so for that footer, you're going to change out your social icons. So change out each of your social icons. I like the nice white icons. They can be square or circle. And then you're going to want to input your company name, address, phone number, and your unsubscribe and email preferences. So I'll let you do all that, but what's important here is how to properly link your unsubscribe and email preferences pages. So let's say, what I like to say at the bottom is update your email preferences or unsubscribe. Okay, I would obviously make this a color that's very readable. Now, you're going to want to link email preferences to the landing page you've made. You don't want to use the URL of that landing page. You actually want to come in here, drop down, and click Form Landing Page. From here, you can see that I have different email preference pages. I'm going to select one. I'm going to change that template color to white, and then save. It's the exact same thing with your unsubscribe. You're going to link this. You're going to click your unsubscribe hyperlink, and then default unsubscribe. Change to white in my case. Okay? Then again, like I said, update those links, update your info, and your footer is going to be in a really good spot. Now, the last thing that's really important with templates are custom layouts. So when you go to build an email, when you click add content, you're going to see these static elements as options. Alright? There's dividers, there's buttons, there's text, headlines, etc. There's a few things missing here, though, that we put into all of the custom templates that we make. So it's important to understand how to make a custom layout. And what's really nice about custom layouts is that you can copy them from one template to another. So again, in creating one base template to get you started, you can then have those custom templates be copied into the next one and the next one. So let me show you a few custom layouts we do often. 1, 2 column image and text. So same system as you were just building. You're going to put a section in, you're going to put in padding, you're going to use your default background. The difference here though is I want this to be 2 columns. This is what you're going to need to do, especially with those custom newsletters or webinar templates where you have like an image and text or video and text, something like that. You're going to want to make these here. So in this case, I want to keep these 50-50. I'm going to leave my padding all the same. We use this a lot for like a speaker layout. So we're going to put an image in both columns and then a text on the bottom. Okay. This can then easily be used to put a speaker's image and their name and their info about their upcoming webinar. Okay, we're going to save that layout. Another common one we do is 2 column image or 2 column text. Okay, I'm going to do text this time. Text with button. That's the common one. Same situation here. Two columns, go back, then same here. I'm going to put in text. This might be the name of a webinar or a course that's upcoming. And then I'm going to put in a button in each column. Now this style, again, this can be changed, but I like to make this center, and then it's going to default to your right colors. So don't stress about your colors in this phase. It will default to all your regular things. Sometimes I feel like the alignment doesn't work all the way, so I'm in the habit of doing that, but I don't mess with anything else because it will go to default sizes. Okay? Let's say I want a little bit more space here. So see how that text and button are really close together? I'm going to pick the button and then the style tab and add padding. I like to add some 10px padding to the top and the bottom of these, so it's got enough space. Style, padding. Get really comfortable adding padding in these custom layouts. That's what makes a world of difference. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and save it. Now, we also make these for sponsor logo farms, any custom layouts, especially for newsletters. We make a lot of those with different graphics and same headers or anything like that. Anything that you repeat over and over again, it's nice to have a custom layout. And if you ever feel like something is missing when you're trying to build it, just stop, pop into your template and create a custom layout. I promise it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Alright, so there you have it. This is how you're going to build your basic email template. Now, from here you can review and activate. So you got to see that it's all working, and then you have to activate your template. And then you can go ahead and use your template in a mailing. It will be in a good spot where you're going to be able to automatically just start building that email. Okay, you can add in your content, you can change out anything, you can add in any custom layouts you have, etc. So, I hope this has been a helpful tutorial to get you started off on the right foot with templates. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and watch out for more of our videos.